Okay, so this is a step-by-step guide on how to build your own kitchen cabinets. There is a problem when you want to renovate your kitchen and want to build a new kitchen. And problem is that it can be really expensive, it can be time-consuming and complex. There is a solution to this problem, and the solution is DIY, meaning doing it yourself. Because of the greatest component of the cost, which is the labor. Yes, you can build this these days, especially. It's easier than ever, and as a bonus, is it fun? You save a lot of money because, as I said, the trades are very expensive. It's the biggest chunk of the price you pay for a new kitchen. You're learning new skills. You exercise with purpose instead of just going to the gym. And you increase the value of your home, of course, and you get exactly what you want. And in the end, you have the satisfaction of building it with your own hands. Okay, so this is a guide that it's not intended, I have to mention from the start, is not intended for professionals. Just for regular people, and this specifically looks to address the problem of building cost-effective and but at the same time high quality and good-looking kitchen cabinets. So you don't need experience, no workshop is needed, no expensive machines are needed or tools. Everybody can do this in their own kitchen, in their own living room, porch or backyard. All that is needed, it's a small space where to assemble this and move around, which can be a table or even on the floor. Also, as tools, the whole idea of this is to make it with very few tools, actually only with a drill. So in order to achieve this, a couple of things have to be considered. So build style has to be very easy. So we won't talk about all sorts of fancy building techniques and machines and tools that all the trades use. We are going to build something very simple that requires only a drill machine and screws, and this way is accessible for everyone. Another assumption here is supplies. So all the supplies that you need for this cabinet, they must be found at your local DIY store, which is Home Depot or Lowe's in the US, or Leroy Merlin or Obi in Europe, or Kingfisher in UK. So considering these two things, like simplicity of building the cabinet, the actual technique itself, the way it's built, and the sourcing for everything, which is your local general DIY retail store, this is doable, and I'm going to show you how. Okay, so this is, as you can see on the screen, a wall cabinet, a 2-doors wall cabinet. I choose a standard size, which in this case is 24 inches wide by 30 inches high by 12 inches deep. This is a pretty standard US size. More videos are coming with other dimensions for US and Europe as well. The European dimensions are going to be in metric, of course. Yes, please stay tuned. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, so you are updated when I'm posting. All right. So every cabinet is made mainly from two parts. So you have a fixed part, which is assembled and is not supposed to be taken apart, which is the box, as you can see here. Yes, you can take it apart, but you're not supposed to, and this is fastened with screws in this case, so that it's easy and doable by everyone. And then we have the removable parts, which are the doors. that attach to this box using the hinges. And also there is a shelf inside that's also removable. The doors, I have to mention that you can actually make them from the same material like the side, the box itself, or you can buy MDF doors with special profiles. Doesn't matter which way you choose, you still can use this technique to build your own cabinets. If you choose to buy the doors made from MDF, they come painted or wrapped in foil, and they have special profiles. They also might have holes for the hinges, and also holes for the handles, or they might not. But this is not a problem. You can do this by yourself. I'm gonna tell you how. Regarding the box, this is the heavy lifting, and this is the thing that you are going to build for yourself. Okay, so the box has a couple of elements that they are fastened together using screws, just regular wood screws. So you will have like a right side, left side, top side, bottom side. You have this reinforcing top and bottom rails, and the backer panel, which is a different thickness. Okay, and all these panels are assembled together using screws, wood screws. Just regular screws in North America and some special screws in Europe, but the idea is pretty much the same. Some holes, they need to be pre-drilled for these screws, and then you just drive those screws in, and that's pretty much the whole idea. So before starting to assembling the whole thing, my recommendation is actually, when you get all these panels from Home Depot, you put edge tape. So all the visible edges, especially the front edges, this and that and that and that, they have to be covered with edge band. Also, these edges inside, they have to be covered, and that, also this and that. These are not visible, but if the idea bothers you, you can very well spend some time and cover those two. And also this on the bottom, this might actually be visible because it's the bottom of the wall cabinet. Okay, so when you go to Home Depot, you ask them to cut these panels for you. Yes, they do have this service. They might not have it in all the locations. Please call in advance and make sure they have this service, but pretty much they have this everywhere. And you would be able to actually cut these panels exactly to size to assemble your cabinet. Now, how to do this? How to do this? Well, there is a guide that I put together for you, a step-by-step guide in which you have all the dimensions you need for every single panel, all the positioning and dimensioning for the holes that you need to actually build this. This guide, I provide a link in the description of this video. Please follow and download it for yourself so you can build this cabinet. You have all the details there, all the tools that you need, all the supplies that you need, all the panels, all the dimensions, everything is there in great detail, so you can follow it step by step and build this for yourself. So quickly, just to go over, how would you build this? Well, build step number one. After you put the edge band, as I said before, the first thing that I recommend to do is to drill these shelf holes. You can drill this later as well, but it's recommended to do it now because it's easier accessible. Again, all the details that you need for that are in the guide. That is downloadable, and you have the link in the description. Step number two, you would place these panels on the edge as shown, on the table or on the floor, doesn't matter. What matters is that you have this 90 degrees angle between the panels, and also what matters is to have these surfaces flush, right? Also this and that. That's it. Then you would use the bit that I described in the guide to drive these two holes through the panels. You drive these two holes through this panel and that panel, so you will end up with a hole that goes through both. What exactly bit you use, it's in the guide. What exactly dimensions, position, and all that, it's all in the guide for you to check it out. After you do that, step number 2 is to do the same thing for the top panel. So again, pre-drill the holes and drive the screw inside. Then, next step would be the right side. Same thing. You assemble the top with two screws, and after that you assemble the bottom with two screws. All right. After that, the reinforcing rails, they have to be placed. Again, you butt them against the top here all the way, and also they have to go all the way to the back. So make sure this is flush. And this is the time when you drive the same, you pre-drill these holes exactly like the others here. You pre-drill them and you drive the same screws both sides. Next step would be the bottom rail. Same thing. And the next step would be the back. So you bring the back panel, which is a thin panel. It's not the same panel as the others, as you can see here. This is about 1/8 of an inch. And the way you would assemble this would be to flip the cabinet and facing down, and you attach this on the back using the nails in the guide. Use like one nail every 2 or 3 inches, all 4 sides. Okay. I know other shops, they use like different thicknesses for the panels. They make special grooves and they set the panel. You don't really need to do that. Yes, you can, but you don't really need, because the cabinet is strong enough because of these 2 rails and also this panel at the back that is going to hold everything in place with those nails. So, and that panel actually doesn't carry any kind of load. It's just to cover the back so you don't see the wall. Okay, so after you have the box, you start with the assembly and start to assemble the doors. Now, how do you do this? First of all, you take it step by step. That would be this. So you would have only one door at a time, right? So you bring in the door. Do not install the handle just yet, okay, because this needs to lay flat on the table. Bring the hinges as well and insert the hinges inside those holes I was talking about earlier. So this door actually has to have this 35mm hole pre-drilled, exactly positioned away from this edge. Again, informations in great detail in the guide. So you bring in the hinges. Don't need to pre-drill any hole, just use the small wood screws to attach the hinge to the cabinet. The only thing to be careful is this edge has to be parallel with that. Repeat the process with the other hinge, and then you are pretty much done with this door. Then push that door against the cabinet, but not all the way. I'm gonna show you in a second how. So yeah, so you have to leave this gap here, which is about 1/8. Okay, so keep that gap, bring the door flat on the table, lay the cabinet exactly as shown on the hinge side, center the door on the cabinet. You will see a small gap at the bottom, small gap at the top. Okay, and that's by design and it's on purpose. Again, dimensions in the guide, exact dimensions in the guide. Flip the hinges inside the cabinet because they move like that, and then attach these hinges with the same screws that you used here. Okay, repeat for all the hinges In this case, you only have 2 because the cabinet is not so tall. So this hinge is at the bottom as well. Okay, next would be the other door. Next would be the other door. So you flip the cabinet on the same table, you bring the other door, and you repeat everything that I just said with the other door. Okay. Now the time has come to actually install the handles. So with the doors installed on the cabinet, you open the doors and you bring the handles. They have to have their metric screws supplied by the vendor, and you will drive the screws through these holes into the handle. Okay. Now, if you buy the MDF doors with pre-drill holes, you will have these holes already made for you, matching the handle. If not, you need to buy the handle first, measure what's the distance between these two holes, and then drill these holes for yourself. Again, dimensions and details in the guide in the description. Okay. And now that we have everything installed, what's recommended is to actually remove the doors. Remove the doors and the shelf for an easier installation. So you will have only the body itself. The next step would be to place it on the wall. Make sure you have the distance that you desire from the floor or from the bottom cabinets. On the wall, make sure it's horizontal, and fasten this cabinet to the wall using at least 2 screws. You don't need to pre-drill these holes necessarily, and you would use the special screws, the long screws described in the guide, to fasten this to the stud in the wall. Make sure there is a stud behind. And after finishing installation on the wall, you can bring and reattach the doors back to the cabinet. Also, in this stage, if you have no cabinets on the left side here and on the right side, and you have these screw heads exposed, if they bother you, you can use the screw caps described in the guide to cover those. I'm not personally bothered by those, so I leave the screws exposed like that. But yeah, you can cover them with caps, plastic caps that match the color of the cabinet. And that would be pretty much the last step for building and installing your own kitchen cabinet. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. Don't forget to subscribe, of course. More cabinets and videos are coming, different sizes and different types, bottom cabinets as well. Don't forget to subscribe, to like and share. Don't forget to download the guide for step-by-step instructions. If you want to build this, you have everything you need in there. You have all the tools you need. You have exact screenshots from Home Depot, what exactly you could use to build this, all the hardware and the screws you need, with exact screenshots from Home Depot, all the materials needed, again with screenshots from Home Depot, and all the dimensions needed to build this cabinet. What you also get is a cut list with all the panels you need precisely dimensioned. And also you have like a step-by-step guide with 3D drawings and a bunch of notes and dimensions and numbers to build this cabinet exactly like this. Okay, until the next time, thank you very much for watching. Please like, subscribe and share, and visit the link in the description for the step-by-step guide to build this.